Versatile Mage. Chapter 254. Team Battle. There was another school having a mock battle with the Imperial College in the morning. In the afternoon, it would be Pearl Institute versus Imperial College. The mock battle this time was naturally the highlight. There would most likely be a crowd even before the battle arena had opened. Mo Fan had messed with the little loach pendant the whole night. The others followed Gu Han early in the morning to watch the battle with the other school. Mo Fan didn't go, heading back to his bed to get his long-deserved sleep. How else would he have the energy to fight against those arrogant people from the Imperial College? As Mo Fan was sleeping, the other students went to the battle arena. The arrangement of the battles was that all 6 universities would fight one another. There were universities from the north, south, east, and west of the country, all of them important in their own areas. However, the students of Imperial College weren't very concerned. The people they wanted to get rid of the most were those from Pearl Institute. In the morning, the feeling of competition quickly arose from the conversations the teams had. Luo Song and Zhu Delong, whose personalities were rather direct, immediately began to pick a fight with one another. Luo Song, you're a pretty smart person. You didn't want to be the tail of a phoenix, so you ran off to become the head of a chicken. Thinking about it, that also makes sense. For someone like you, your strength would be at most average in Imperial College. It wouldn't even be your turn to fight. Zhu Delong didn't even try to sugarcoat his words. Whatever he wanted to say was said. Mr. Gu Han had a bad taste in his mouth as he looked on. Fuck off, you're a phoenix, while I'm a chicken. Zhu Delong, don't be rude. Please allow me to apologize for him. Zhu Delong is just a very direct person. Please pardon him, everyone. Lu Yiming hastily came out to resolve the conflict. Just being too direct. Does teacher Lu Yiming really think that? Gu Han coldly humphed. Gu Han was cold and short-fused. Being a graduate of Pearl Institute and a current teacher there, he had no reason whatsoever to lower himself just because the other party was from Imperial College. Lu Yiming awkwardly smiled as he hastily changed the subject. When I received you, I remember there were 9 students in total. How come there's only 8 of you today? Chu Yuhua, being a bit more kind-hearted, quickly interrupted Gu Han and said, the student didn't sleep properly last night, so he's sleeping right now. Ha ha ha, you don't actually need to feel that pressured. It's only a mock battle, how could you lose sleep over that? Lu Yiming started laughing. Chu Yuhua's face turned black. When they were being received yesterday, he thought that this Lu Yiming had some kind of problem. Today, after they interacted, he felt like this person's mouth never had anything good coming out of it. Whether that guy comes or not doesn't really matter. We only need the few of us to deal with you guys. Shen Mingshao immediately stood up, his eyes like a treasured sword as he gazed at the group of people from Imperial College. Is that right? You think showing off can get you anywhere? The elegant Liao Mingshuan smiled coldly. Who the hell are you talking about? Shen Mingshao was immediately enraged. Alright, what's the point of verbally attacking each other? Use your strength to prove yourselves this afternoon. Gu Han coldly interrupted. Yeah, let's use strength to prove yourselves. Lu Yiming maintained a hypocritical smile on his face, as he didn't really care if the students' relationships with each other had soured. What about Mo Fan? Just where the hell did he go? He woke up. However, he said he was going to meet some lover. He will come back in the afternoon, Zhao Manyan said with a straight face. Mo Fan had slept until the afternoon. Everyone else had already left, leaving him alone there. He dealt with lunch on his own. The Imperial College was quite large. The clearest differences between the 2 universities were trees that reached up to the skies, little paths through the forests that could be seen everywhere, and the style of the buildings was almost ancient in design. This was completely the opposite of Shanghai, which had developed according to modern times. That also made sense. There were many talented people at the Imperial College, even the dirty gutters there were pervaded with a scholarly aura. You could even get a few famous names from them. No wonder the students from here were all incredibly arrogant. In this place, where experts were like clouds, a place that reflected glory from an illustrious hero, a person who was modest could easily be interpreted as showing off. You might as well be a little confident and manifest the presence that you ought to have. He didn't know whether it was because he received an education from Chu Yuhua, or his own mood, but Mo Fan was in quite the mood to go sightseeing around the school. His heart sighed. All right, he was lost. With the help of a few helpful senior sisters, Mo Fan finally found his way to the battle arena. The battle arena was huge, very imposing, and the large white pillars outside of the place made him think of ancient Rome's great Colosseum. The battle arena's style was very different from what he knew. Furthermore, it seemed to be similar to Rome's Beast Colosseum with its circular form. It appeared that it was intentionally designed like a honeycomb, to make the arena look even more mesmerizing. After walking into the battle arena, Mo Fan realized he was just in time. It was nearly time for Pearl Institute to fight against Imperial College. He didn't know why, but the second he walked into his team, Mo Fan smelled gunpowder. He felt like this problem could only be solved with PK. What's wrong? Mo Fan asked Zhao Mannion. What else could it be? They were baited to fight. That guy Luo Song was talking with the group of Imperial College kids and clashed with that guy called Zhu Delong. Their flames immediately spread to the groups, Zhao Mannion told him. That's good, then. I like this type of brutality. If they were polite and gentle, that would make us feel too embarrassed to go all out, Mo Fan said devilishly. Me, too. Zhao Mannion didn't deny it either. The matter between Pearl Institute and Imperial College was something everyone understood. Every single one of those who came here was extremely excited. The two involved parties no longer needed to continue playing nice with each other. Have them immediately fight and then they could finally see whether Pearl Institute really had the ability to be called the #1 in the country, or whether Imperial College lived up to its expectations of being able to get rid of Pearl. What kind of fight are we having? Mo Fan used his elbow to nudge Mu Nujiao, who was wearing a yellow fluffy goose jacket, his eyebrows raised. If it was anyone else, Mu Nujiao would have immediately used a wind disk or tornado to send that person flying. The irreproachable her did not like it when guys casually touched her. However, as they lived together, Mu Nujiao had become more immune to him. She acted like nothing had happened. We send out 4, and they send out 4. Team battle. Without batting an eye, Mu Nujiao withdrew a certain distance from Mo Fan. I like that. Mo Fan rubbed his hands as he made a playfully sinister face. Currently, the number of spells everyone had grasped was not too impressive. If they were to fight by themselves, it would be mostly about their own firepower. Basically, the person with the most practical strength would win the battle, which would be quite monotonous. A team battle would be different, each element with its own spells, and different types of magical equipment. Their cooperation with each other, and the intertwining of different schools would make the differences considerable, and really put a magician's battle prowess and their adaptive skills to the test. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.